Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to deal with a hack and slash action RPG dungeon crawler Path of Exile. This game is very similar to the Diablo and Torchlight series. More specifically, it is closer to Diablo 2 and 1 than it is Diablo 3. We are on my Templar, which is a strength and intelligence based character. He's level 14. We last saw him many months ago as a much lower level. Here's C for your character sheet. Offense, miscellaneous charges, defense. Tells me my strength, my intelligence. U will bring up the map. All of these blue dots are waypoints, so you have waypoints in each of the zones that kind of go along the main story. A lot of these little offshoot ones won't have it. I brings up your inventory. Your skill sheet, or rather your talent tree, is brought up by P. Now look at this talent sheet. Does this not blow your mind? This is the talent trees, or skill tree I should say, for Path of Exile. Look at this. This is absolutely crazy. Each of these larger circles here is where a character starts off with, and can kind of tell what character based on the stats that are around it. I'm a Templar, so I'm up here at the border of strength and intelligence. Over here is all strength. Over here is all dexterity. So that means up here would be like dexterity intelligence. Down here would be dexterity strength. So look at this tree. It's absolutely crazy. And you go through the tree and you spend your points and you try to work your way towards some of these bigger circles that give either really good bonuses or big abilities. See a big ability up here: elemental equilibrium, minion instability, resolute technique, you never get crit, blood magic removes all mana, spend life instead of mana for skills. So this is absolutely nuts, and probably going to be one of the biggest selling points of this particular game. Tab will bring up an overlay. One of the nifty things about this game that I really complained about for Diablo 3, I liked it in Torchlight, I liked it in Diablo 2. If you notice, I have weapon sets. X changes my weapon sets. I think a game of this type needs this. Especially when you have characters like the Templar that could easily be running a two-hander, maybe a one-hander and a shield. Why Diablo 3 was missing that, I don't know. While we're on the subject of Diablo 3, let's talk about the elephant comparison in the room. How does this compare to it? I think the graphics are weaker. I think the UI is just about as pretty. The chat box over here is huge. I don't like the chat box being that big. I wish there was a way of shrinking it. Yes, you can hide general chat. I'm not interested in hiding it. I just want to make it smaller. The devs, Grinding Gear Games, a New Zealand-based firm, Kiwis, they are very, very active in talking with people here in chat. A lot of people think that it's so amazing and, oh, Blizzard's not doing that. Let's be honest, Blizzard is a huge company at this point in time. For their devs to sit in chat, it's just going to be different. It's a different feel. This is like a mom-and-pop hardware store compared to Home Depot. I mean, there's only so much that kind of stuff is going to occur. There is a microtransaction shop. Nothing in there at the moment. What will be available, I don't really know as of yet. An interesting thing about this game is there is no currency. There is no gold. There is no Zen or Platinum or GP. Your currency are scrolls. Town portal scrolls, scrolls of wisdoms, these whetstones, these orbs. All of these items along my left 2 rows here are the actual currency. So now, let's say I want to sell this ring. They're offering me a scrap. 5 stacks of this, or 5 fragments, become an identification scroll. So this is how this game handles currency. And then if I wanted to buy something that uses 3 scrolls of wisdom, that uses an orb of transmutation. Oh, yeah, this reminds me. Your potions in this game can be of magical quality. So here is a normal life flask, but here is a magic one. So I find that's kind of really interesting that you can get health flasks and mana flasks that have magical properties. 50% increased recovery speed, 100% increased recovery speed when really low, gives life to your minions. I kind of wanted to move them around a little bit over here. They empty when you put in your inventory, but when you put them back, they fill up. And they fill up, as you can see, refills as you kill monsters. Now, your abilities in this game, they're not specific to each class. They come from these gems. These look like World of Warcraft gems, they're not. These are actually my skills. This one over here, Leap Slam. Now, a lot of these skills do require weapons, like this Leap Slam requires an axe, a mace, a sword, or a staff. I have Glacial Ground Slam over here, which is a staff or a mace. So, oh, and you have link slots. When you have a link slot like these over here, or these, or these, or these, or these, what happens is you can put 2 skill abilities in there, or you can put a skill ability and a support one. So a support one might be like your ability pierces enemies, and you could have it with like the Fan of Knives skill over here, Ethereal Knives, so you can link Ethereal Knives and a Pierce. Here's my 2-hander outfit. Since this is an axe, what I could do is I could put Leap Slam here, and it will show up down here. And I can rearrange my abilities by putting Leap Slam over here on my right click, and I can put my Summon Skeletons over there. So that's how you can rearrange your skills. There's your mana, there's your helm, and here's a shield. This blue rim on the health is actually like a Halo energy shield. The FPS in the game is pretty solid. Shadows will hurt your FPS more than anything. Resolution's not making that big of a difference, making maybe a 5 FPS difference. The biggest thing comes from turning on shadows. Once your shadows are on, you can see a 10 to 15 FPS dip. So now I've taken a waypoint and I'm out here in the wilds. Here's my little Firestorm AoE, and I'm already assaulted with a couple of rares over here. So there were some rares right off the bat. Got some armor scraps, there's a blue. Now, oh, I didn't really clean out my inventory when I was in town. A dislike that I do have for this game is the fact that your inventory is bad. I mean, that takes up 4, that's taking up 6, that's 6. Your inventory is a lot like Diablo 2, that gets choked out very quickly. Everything in Torchlight pretty much took up 1 space, and Diablo 3's inventory, of course, you know, is pretty good. Now, it's kind of counterintuitive in this game because of the fact that you use your grays and or your whites, basically, your non-magical items, to get your scraps to identify and be your currency, yet it's really hard to just collect a bunch of them and sell them. You run out of space too quick. So you start really kind of only collecting the blues. Gonna try to get a zombie minion up over here. Have a bunch of these champion level stupid dogs. Finally got my zombie up. God, those dogs are annoying with the crap that they drop when they die, and you get trapped in there. There's a lot of cross-chat going on about, you know, Diablo 3 compared to this. Most people do tend to like this game quite a bit, and they'll actually give it a better review than Diablo 3. I don't think the graphics stand up to Diablo 3. I haven't encountered any voice acting yet, or that much of a story per se. I can say that because of the fact that it's free, I think it's very good quality. People are getting tired of Diablo 3's difficulty at the higher levels. And being a free game, this is solid. One of the problems, though, that I think this game is going to run into is that right around the time that it's going to be available as an open beta and an actual full game, it's just going to have a really tough field to compete in. Guild Wars 2 is going to be out, Mists of Pandaria is going to be out, Borderlands 2 is going to be out, Torchlight 2 is going to be out, which is a direct competitor to this. It's not really going to compete with Diablo 3, because Diablo 3 is going to be pretty old, and you're going to be set at that point. You're either going to really enjoy Diablo 3, continue playing it, or you're just going to be tired of the difficulty. I haven't encountered any bots yet, which has been pretty good. There have been a smattering of Huey ya BRs. Not too bad. Their lag and everything. It's not really going to be a factor, because once you go out into the wilds, you're there by yourself. We'll identify some of these items over here. They're recommending that you don't blow a lot of your identify scrolls on blues unless you think they might be an upgrade. It's not really going to change the quality when you sell them. Now you do have to keep in mind your slots when you're dealing with things. For example, if these boots were an upgrade, which they are, to these boots, that blue won't have a spot anymore. So I'm trading a linked green and blue to get a green and a red, so I'll lose my Firestorm ability with those boots. One bug I kind of dislike on the game over here, you can't move things around in your inventory if you're selling. So I'm trying to maybe move this over here, I can't do it. I can't switch weapons. I can't swap weapon sets while I have my inventory open. So, it's a little bit of an annoying bug. Like, I wanted to see if I had a blue slot here, and I don't. So I'd have to exit out of the sell screen to do it. So, for example, I just can't use these boots to get a little bit evasion or maximum life, because I'll lose a blue slot. So it's going to be an involved game for that. It's going to be an involved game for the weapons that you pick, because you might pick a weapon that's really good but you lose an ability. It's going to be interesting the way it pans out for the gems. You might have a really good upgrade, but you'll lose an ability because you won't have the slots. Like these boots over here, blue and blue. This is something I can do. So I just right click over here. I can take the ability out, put these good boots in, take the gem, slap it in there, have the ability back, and now I have upgraded boots. Sell the boots, get a fragment. And now these fragments over here are the currency. Not everything takes the identify scrolls. See, that one takes an orb of alteration, that one takes an orb of transmutation, that's a scroll. So that's one vendor. Here's another vendor, and gives a lot of quests, this guy over here. And he's got pages of weapons. reminds me a lot of Diablo 2. Your flasks are magical. Stick it out. That's pretty handy to have. Some of them give increased effects. Let's compare these gauntlets over here. Armor 14, armor 4. Actually, no armor. Just energy shield. Accuracy rating. Life on killing an enemy. Maximum life. Energy shield. Compared to increased attack speed. Physical damage is a leech. Physical damage is a mana leech. So I'd probably say an upgrade over here, but there's a problem. I'm losing 2 greens, which is my Ethereal Knives and Bear Trap. If these abilities really don't mean that much to me, I can perform the upgrade. If I really like Bear Trap and Ethereal Knives, I'm kind of out of luck. So, for now I'm going to go ahead and make the swap and just keep that in my inventory just to see how I feel about it. Your gems level up. That's what these bars over here are. This ground slam is close to leveling up, as is the summon skeletons. This double strike, it has leveled, but I'm not allowed to level it up right now. So it's just waiting. So there you go. This is Path of Exile by Grinding Gears Games, a New Zealand-based firm. I think it's a good game. I think it will definitely have a solid foothold against other games of the type when it comes out, depending on when exactly it's released. This can pull away from Diablo 3 in as much as it's a good game, in as much as Diablo 3 is just causing problems for people. How it's going to fare with something like Torchlight 2 being out, Borderlands, which is, you know, another loot grind game, a WoW expansion, Guild Wars 2, I don't know. I mean, Guild Wars 2, you'll have to purchase it, but it'll be no sub. Here's my Glacial Hammer ability for my one-handed set. Switch to my two-hander, show you what that's like. So that just one-shot that dude. Here's double strike out of my two-hander. Did a pretty good number on that champion-style mob. So two-hander's pretty powerful, good way to kill things. And by killing things quickly, it actually really decreases a lot of your incoming damage. So, I mean, I think it's a good game. I think it will be able to compete with games of its type. Some people mentioned a game called Grim Dawn that I've not looked into. Actually, I've got the website up on another PC, but I haven't really looked at it yet. I think it can pull people from Diablo 2 and 3. How it'll stack up to Torchlight 2, don't really know. Graphics are a little bit more realistic than Torchlight, which is a little cartoony. I dislike the inventory system, and I dislike the timer on things. Your town portal only lasts for 4 minutes in the beta. Supposedly it'll last for 15 minutes when it goes live. It's kind of crappy if you want to take a break. Like, you know, you're out in the wild, and you've been doing, you know, a bunch of zone clearing, and you've been going through the quests and everything like that. What happens if you want to take a break? You want to go make some lunch, you want to get a cup of coffee, you know, town portal back to town, or you take the waypoint, you're back in town, and, you know, 15 minutes later, your town portal's expired. Alright, 15 minutes is a long time. We could probably be back from break. But the other thing that happens is your zone resets. It's not just a matter of, oh, I logged out, the zone resets. The zone will reset right now in the closed beta in about like 4 or 5 minutes, so that gets a little annoying too. Yeah, you can sit there and just run through and go, you know, let's say I was cutting through the zone to the next area for a quest. If I was cutting through to get over here to that question mark, you know, and I cleared it out, and I took a break, and I came back and everybody's respawned, I could just run through. But I think the timer's a little fast. And I like it a little bit better if logging out resets a zone, because then you're in complete control of it. If you take a phone call, if you know, get some food, if you just take a little bit of a break, your zone is reset. And all of these mobs are back, which is, it's a double-edged sword. It's good if you're farming. I think it's a little annoying if you're trying to proceed through the game and just, you know, had to take a break. So I'm getting my ass kicked over here. I'm going to back out. I'm going to hit my pot. You can see it used some of the charges, but not all of them. And it will refill as I kill monsters. See, it's going up a little bit here as creatures are dying. There is a little bit of an internal GCD if you're spamming abilities, and then go to switch to more of a cast timer one like that. You're gonna have to be disciplined and stop clicking for a few seconds and kind of let the system catch up a little bit. There is a miss rate built into the game. You do have accuracy hit stats. So there you go. There is Path of Exile, my Grinding Gears games, pathofexile.com. Check them out. Stay tuned to my channel for hopefully some more Mists of Pandaria beta videos as I go through the scenarios and some heroics that I haven't caught on Fraps yet. And hope you guys check this out. You can ensure yourself a spot in future closed betas by buying one of their like Kickstarter developer packs. They range from $10 up to like $1,000. So just by dropping $10, you'll make sure that you can get into any closed beta that they do. I would recommend you wait for an open beta weekend, kind of like this one, just to see if you like the game. And if you like it enough, hey, drop the $10, get in the betas, and when the game goes live, you'll be getting it for free anyway. So it might be worth the $10 to you. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.